Hello, everybody. This is Ian Chandler, Chief Sales Officer here at ARIIX. Guys, I am stoked to be with you and thank you for your time. For years, we've actually had the industry's leading compensation plan, right? Some people know about it, some people don't. It's been confusing for some, simple for others who have spent the time to learn and grow. But today, we really want to focus and welcome all of our brand new ARIIX members who want to learn and find out why the ARIIX Activ8 Compensation Plan was just recently voted as the #1 compensation plan in the entire industry. So I got to say something. First of all, for those of you who don't know, this plan was the summation of a lot of smart people putting a lot of time and attention into doing things that were different from when we started. Okay, when we started ARIIX, we looked at all of the different compensation plans from all of our competitors. And we said, what does everybody in this industry hate about traditional compensation plans? And we wrote it on a huge board and went through it, and Mark Wilson and Fred Cooper and the original founders basically had a list that said, we don't want this, we don't want this, we do want this, we do want this, right? So some basic concepts that ring true to any type of compensation that should make perfect sense, all were put together to make the Activ8 compensation plan. When you get done today, here is what you can expect. You'll not only understand how the compensation plan works, right? How the mechanics work, how it calculates. That's important to know, but more important than that is knowing how to use it, why it's set up the way that it is, and how to build your team, and more importantly, your income, so that you can ultimately get the lifestyle that you want. Okay, the Activ8 compensation plan. It is an industry first. There are multiple patents that are pending for it because of the unique, uncopyable thing that we put together. I won't go through all the details of what makes it unique because today we're learning about how it works and how you can get paid. However, it is important to know that it is one of a kind, cannot be copied, is protected by patents. And frankly speaking, most companies wouldn't even dare to copy because of the biggest reason that sets it up apart from all of our competitors, and that is we pay more per sales dollar that comes in than any other company out there. Believe me, we search, we've been out there, we've challenged, we issue a public challenge. If there is a company that believes they pay more than 50% of sales dollars, 50% of sales dollars, right? We welcome them. Send us an email, send us a postcard, send us a Facebook chat, whatever you want to do, and we'll have an open discussion in a forum to compare, but we've yet to see anyone take up the challenge. So without any further ado, welcome to the ARIIX Activ8 Compensation Plan training. This is primarily for people who are brand new to ARIIX. So for all of you who wanting to learn to get it from straight from the horse's mouth, as it were, right? This is the perfect chance to do so. It will take about 45 minutes of your time, so I appreciate that in advance, but I believe when we're done, you'll have the confidence to know how to make money, how we pay, why we pay, and you'll be able to navigate the next couple months to a year to really reach your goal. And I'll end with this on my introduction. There is no universal definition of success with ARIIX. To some people, just getting the benefits of the product alone has already met their definition of success. For others, they're looking for 6, 7-figure income every single year, and to them, that's their definition of success. At ARIIX, we really don't care what your definition of success is. We care that we help you get your definition of success. So have fun, let's get going, and we're going to get started. First off, let's do first things first, okay? Getting started with ARIIX, I'm sure you're already familiar with this, but let's do a quick recap. We start by buying the boss. When you buy the boss, it gives you your income position. That's a fancy word for your business in the ARIIX network. It also comes with an e-store, right? This is a store that you can send to friends, to families, to potential customers, where they can go on and they can shop just like they would shop on Amazon and buy ARIIX products, ship it directly to them. You don't have to handle any of the fulfillment or shipping or any of that, and you get credit for it in the form of sales. And we'll go through all that, right? So you get that comes with your boss. You're also going to get very powerful business analytical tools. Not important probably from day one, but after about the first month, you'll see layer after layer of where this becomes crucial in managing your business, especially if you have your sights on a higher goal. Last but not least, it comes with sales training and tools on the product, how to sell the product, how to share it, information, etc. The starter kit is a must. That's why it is mandatory. Outside of that, then you start buying your products so that everybody's aware. Every product that you buy, that you sell, refer to people, has a price value and a point value. So for example, you buy a set of Jove and it comes at $144. And the point value of that is 100 points. And there's a reason why we distinguish between dollars and points, or yen and points, or any other form of denomination of cash around the world. And that is because we're in a bunch of markets. It would be very difficult for us to calculate your commissions if we're always converting back and forth between the yen, the dollar, the euro, the British pound, the peso, etc. So to keep things simple, if you have a customer who lives in the US, or they live in Canada, or they live in Mexico, or they live in Japan, or China, or Taiwan, wherever they live, the product they're buying has the same point value worldwide. Why? So that when you're looking at sales every single week that calculate your commissions, right, it's all consistent. You don't care where they reside or what currency they pay in. We do all of the currency conversion, all of the financial banking things for you. You just care that there was product sold and that product has a point value. Okay? Hopefully that should be very, very straightforward. Now, to get started in your business, you have some very important options to choose from day one. And you've only got 4 weeks to make this happen. So this is crucial. I believe fundamentally that getting right start in the business means that you make the right decisions that work for you. So let's walk through this. We have what we call business levels. Kind of like you go to Costco and you can choose from different levels of membership. So likewise at ARIIX, we have the basic 4 levels. Here they are. Member. An activated member is somebody who has generated, I hate that word, 150 points of sales product. Now you can buy this yourself, and if you did, 150 points would roughly be enough for one person to use products for about 1 month, okay? 500 points is the business level. This is about enough product for a family of 3 or 4 or 5 or some friends or roommates or whatever to be able to use for about a month. The nice thing about buying more is you usually get a broader variety of products. As you know, ARIIX has 5 different brands that we are very proud of, right? And you can choose and mix and match from those brands as your lifestyle sees fit. Once you get to the elite, that's quite a bit of product at 1,000 points, right? Most people couldn't consume 1,000 points of product in 1 month. Well, what are you doing with all that product? A couple of things, right? This is when you're starting to get serious about building a business. You need product on hand to share, to refer, to retail to people, to sample, right? We do a lot of things like sampling parties, specific to one brand or common across many, and that will give you enough to be able to use and get your business going, right? It also helps when people want to get product immediately. You retail it to them. They're not waiting for shipping or any of that. So that's the elite. And the ultimate is the king of all business levels. It's 1,500 points. At this point, you're getting product from just about every single brand. We do have packs that equal each of these different business level point amounts. So it makes it really easy when you're choosing, oh, there's a pack that has 1,000 points or 500 or 1,500, and they usually have a discount even beyond your wholesale discount as a member. Okay, so you've got 4 weeks to make this decision. Why is it important to consider ultimate versus business versus member? It's because each level will unlock a lifetime of benefits called business enhancements. Okay? To keep it real simple, it's kind of like your Costco card, right? You just come in as a member, you can go and buy wholesale, life is good. If you get their executive card, you can go buy and you end up getting rewards sent to you at the end of the year based off of how much you buy, etc. So likewise, there is a laundry list of a bunch of different really powerful business enhancements that come with each different business level. Okay, there's 4 that I'm going to key in on today because they relate directly to how much money you will be making and how much money you could be making in Activ8. Most people who are serious about the business tend to come in at least at the business level. They buy the product so that they can speak with authenticity. They've tried the products and they can authentically talk to their friends and say, yeah, this water bottle, this purity water bottle is amazing. By the way, I also have this and this. That gives them a good, broad variety of product, right? Obviously, ultimate will be the goal, and it's going to become very clear why that should be the goal. Not everybody has $2,000 to be able to go and quote unquote invest in an ultimate pack. I get that. We understand that, which is why ARIIX is, as far as we know, the only company in the entire industry that allows you to qualify for any of these business levels with the purchases that you buy yourself or with the purchases that you refer to your preferred customers. So just a little scenario you can imagine for a second. If I came in and I decided to buy 500 points of product, I would become the business level immediately from day one. I would start getting all of the benefits that come with that. And then I would have 4 weeks for me to go and hold a couple of sampling parties, talk to my friends and family to make up another 1,000 points to be able to hit ultimate. That should be a goal for every single new member at ARIIX. I promise you, and it's going to become very obvious why. So I would strongly recommend making ultimate a goal, make it happen, and you can purchase the products yourself to qualify, or don't buy anything and refer it to preferred customers that you sponsor. And we'll get there in a second to talk more about preferred customers. But the nice thing is, you don't have to spend a dime. There's no requirements for you. There is a sales threshold, but you don't have to buy anything. You can sell it. We recommend that you do use the product so you're speaking from your heart authentically, but you don't have to. There's no requirement. Okay? Again, the 4 things that are bolded out here are the number of lines or teams that you can build, a thing called 2x status, and I'll talk about this right here. 2x is nothing short of amazing. It doubles the discounts you get on the products you buy. So when you enroll as a member, you automatically get a 15% discount off of the retail price for being a member and when you set up your auto delivery. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But if you have the 2x status as well, that 15% turns into 30% savings and you double the discount. It also doubles some of the bonuses. All bonuses are doubled if you have 2x status. So again, one more reason why business just absolutely makes sense as a minimum and ultimate should be your goal. So let's jump into this. People ask, okay, what are the requirements to make money, to be able to be qualified to earn commissions or an income with ARIIX? It's real simple. Very, very simple. You need to use or sell 75 points of product every 4 weeks. We call it a cycle. And every cycle that you buy or use 75 points, it can come from you or it can come from your preferred customer. You will be qualified for commissions and you can earn, and there are no restrictions. Pretty straightforward, unlike a lot of other companies. So let's go and start talking about how we get you paid, right? The Activ8 income, there's kind of 3 types of income. There's upfront, there's residual, and there's the bonuses. I like to kind of think of it like this. Upfront is kind of like having a job. The more hours you work, the more you get paid. The less hours you work, the less you get paid. The more you produce, the more you earn. Kind of a deal, right? So it's you put in the time and the effort and it gets paid immediately right up front and you start enjoying that benefit just very directly. Residual is kind of like being a boss, right? You're getting a pretty good wage, a residual pay that happens every 2 weeks or 4 weeks or every whatever, based on not only on the work that you do, but on the work that your employees do, right? And in this case, your team. So residual, this is where it really starts to get different from having a job, and you're going to see that, right? You're leveraging the effort of you and your team to pay you overtime. And that's one of the biggest differences between having a job and direct sales, okay? And the last is kind of like getting paid like a C-level executive. When you hit certain milestones, you get bonuses that come to you. So we're going to hear about how you get paid like an employee, like a boss, and like a CEO. All right. So there's 8 ways that we pay you. You can see them all right here. We're going to keep it very, very simple. The first way that you get paid is called retail sales. This is very simple. Remember that discount I talked to you about? If you had 2X, you can get the 30% discount. So if you bought something that was normally $100 retail, you're going to get it for $70. That's the wholesale price. And then you can sell it to retail to friends. This is where the company ships the product straight to you and you do with it what you want. You buy it at wholesale, you sell it at a price you set, and you keep the difference. Pretty straightforward, but I'll be frank. This is becoming less and less popular as people are more and more accustomed to buying things online, right? Well, here's the cool part. We still pay you a retail difference if you have preferred customers. And the cool thing is that all you're doing is referring your friends to go set up an account. They go buy online, right? You're not taking their cash or money or any of that. They go buy online. And when they buy, the same thing. If they buy at the retail price, because you're qualified at the wholesale, that difference comes back to you and pays you the difference in a retail incentive. So pretty straightforward. This is upfront, immediate cash. You sell it, you get it, done. Now, this next bonus is called the team lead bonus, and this is probably the most impactful way to get paid immediately upfront. And it happens when you sell product to new customers. That includes preferred customers, that includes members, okay? So let's talk about it. When you get a new member on your team lead bonus is going to be paid based off of your business level. Remember, we talked about having member, business, elite, and ultimate. This is pretty huge, and this is one reason why everybody wants to be ultimate, right? Because if you're a member, your team lead bonus percentage is going to be 15%. If you're business, it's 20%. Elite, 25%, and ultimate, 30%. So let's just throw an example and see what that looks like. If you are a member and you got a new team partner who for their first order, right, buys 1,000 points of product, you're going to get 15% or $150. Pretty straightforward, right? If you were business and you sold the same 1,000 points, it's now 20% and you're getting $200. $50 just for having the higher business level, okay? If you're elite, same thing, you sell 1,000 points, now you're getting 25% or $250. Guys, this is a big, big deal. And last but not least, if you're ultimate, you sell the same 1,000 points, you're getting 30% or $300. And that is double what you would have been getting as a member. Can you see immediately why becoming ultimate is not only a goal that everyone should have, it just makes sense because over the lifetime of your career here at ARIIX, I don't know how many people you're going to sponsor, 10, 20, 100, right? Each of the people that you sponsor that buys product, they will earn you a team lead bonus, and that percentage is based on your business level. So I can promise you, if you're ultimate, you're set. It's easy. It's a piece of cake. How much do you earn when you sponsor a new customer who buys product? 30% of whatever they buy. It's really easy, which is why I want everyone to make that commitment. Become ultimate. Get the people in your team to become ultimate, because then for the rest of their life, every time they get a new customer, they know they're getting 30%. And it's straightforward, simple, and it's lucrative. So make it happen. right? You're getting paid like an employee. You find one customer, you get 30% of the one. You find 10, you get 30% of the 10. The more you do, the more you get. Pretty straightforward. Now, there is one really cool part about the comp plan. If you are a business level, right? You bought the 500 points, you set up a couple of sampling parties, it didn't go the way you wanted. Now, that's pretty rare, but if that happened, let's say it's worst case scenario. You're like, suck, I only get 20%, I'm screwed. Let's see that same scenario. You sell 1,500 points to somebody. Somebody decides to become an ultimate in your team. You're like, dang it, I'm only getting 20%, I get 300 bucks, right? Wrong. Even though your business level team lead bonus percentage is 20, that's what you should be getting. But here's the cool part. Because you sold the ultimate, we're going to give you the 30% anyways. Okay, so what you see on that business level and the team lead bonus, that's a minimum percentage. It won't go lower, right? So if you're a business, you sell a business, you're getting 20%. But if you're a business and you sell ultimate, dude, you're getting 30% regardless. So be ultimate, sell ultimate, right? And here's why. Research and experience has told us that when people are committed early and they make significant commitments to move ahead early, your business, their business, your paycheck, their paycheck grows a lot faster than if they take their time. Now, we welcome everybody from all levels of interest and all levels of goals to join ARIIX however they wish. But we want to incentivize those who are serious about making an impact, right? That ultimate is the obvious no-brainer choice. Pretty clear, right? So what happens when my new member decides to go and keep buying? So their first order, I get that. On their first order, everything they buy in their first 4 weeks, I earn team lead bonus. But after that, after their first 4 weeks, they're going to keep buying every cycle, every 4 weeks, every month, right? Because they love the products. They're going to buy about 75 to 100 points every single month. And when they do, now I've graduated from the upfront money, okay, the upfront types of income. I've now graduated to what we call residual income, okay? And residual, again, is like getting paid like a boss. This is the volume that I don't personally sponsor, or if I do, they're now into their second or third or fourth month. This also includes volume from people that I've sponsored who then sponsor someone else. So I bring in Fred, and Fred becomes ultimate. I got paid my team lead bonus on his 1,500 points, $450 in my pocket. Life is good. And as Fred continues to buy, I'm going to earn a residual on that. As Fred refers other people that I didn't personally bring into the business or to start using the product, I start to earn a residual income off of that volume. So let's talk about how that works, okay? And this is what we call base commissions. This is where we earn by building sales teams. So remember that thing called an income position? That's just a fancy word for your place in the ARIIX network. It's your business, okay? And you get customers and you get sales teams that are connected to your business like an org chart. So preferred customers, they buy directly from the company through your online store or through their own account like they would through Amazon. And they're connected directly to your income position, okay? Next, sales teams, they're your customers and they also can be a business partner with you. And they're connected to your income position like an organization chart. So like you are the manager, you have two supervisors who have multiple team leads or just regular employees, okay? Now each team can also get new customers and new team members. So you bring in people and they bring in people and they bring in people who are all buying the product. It makes a network, makes an organizational chart. Now you can add your new customers or your new members to existing teams, or you can build new lines and new teams as you wish. right? It's really flexible and up to you. In fact, we are the first company to allow people to go as wide as they want, meaning build 3 lines or 30, or go as deep as they want. Okay, I won't go into too much detail. I'll say that for another webinar, but you get the idea. So remember sales volume points, right? All of the volume, because we only pay commissions on sales volume. There's nothing for recruiting. It's all for when people buy product. But when they buy product, it doesn't matter if the person is 2 or 3 levels deep or 300 levels deep. Remember, a level is, you see the person in that front row, they're my first level, the second row, second level, etc. All of the volume from all of those people on my sales lines, that all rolls up and counts towards my base commission. And remember, if I get paid in team lead volume, I got paid in team lead volume. All other volume pays me in base commissions. So here's how it works. You're going to have a lot of lines. Some lines will have more volume, some will have less. The line with the most sales is called your power line. Every other line in that income position is called a pay line. So here's an example. I have my line 1. I have 4 people who bought 500 points, and on my line 2, I have 2 people who bought 500 points. So I've got 2,000 points on my line 1. I'll call that a power line. Why? Because it has more volume than the points I have on line 2, which is only 1,000. So the 1,000 is the pay, and here's how base commissions works. Base commissions is simply 15% of all pay line volume. So in this case, I've got 1,000 points of pay line volume, right? That means it's going to be multiplied by 15%. My base commissions is $150. Now, because I used up those points, it's going to take 1,000 points and use them up from both the pay line and the power line. That's how the game works, okay? So 1,000 points goes away from the pay line, I'm left with 0. But on my power line, I had 2,000, and I only used 1,000 of that to get paid the base commissions. So any points left over in my power line, they're going to carry over to the next week. We pay commissions every single week. Okay, so I started with 2,000, I used 1,000. Next week, I've got 1,000 carryover points, right? And here's the beautiful part. I get some new volume that same week. I got 1,000 points that are new on line 2, and here's what's going to happen. Same thing. What's my pay line? Well, 1,000, 1,000, it doesn't really matter which is a pay line. One of them is a pay line, so I get a 15% of 1,000 points. My base commission is at $150. I use up the volume from both sides just like before, and now I have no more carryover and I've been paid in full. This is base commissions. It's that easy, and you can have 1,000 points, you can have 10,000 points. It keeps going up. There's no limit to the number of pay lines that I can build, and each line can pay me $2,000 US per week. Okay, so I'm going to show one more example. This one's kind of a brain buster, so go ahead and follow along. Let's say that I've got 3 lines that I'm building, 3 teams that I'm working with. These are people that are using product that I'm working with. I'm teaching them how to sell the product, teaching them how to use it, right? On my line 1, I've got 2,000 points. That's my power line, right? Line 2, I've got 1,000 points. It's my pay line. Line 3, I've got 1,500 points. It's a pay line. Okay? So, same scenario. We're going to use up all those points. I got 1,000 points that are going to be used in line 2, 1,500 points from line 3. Well, if I'm using 2,500 points for all my pay lines, and I'm using 2,500 points from my power line, but I only had 2,000 points from my power line. Well, let's get there later. So we know that I've got 2,500 points of pay line volume. Base commissions is 15% of pay line volume, which is $375. What do we do about that carryover though, right? I had 2,000 points on my power line, but I used 2,500. Does that mean I'm going to have a negative carryover? No, that would be lame. At ARIIX, we're very different. If you have more pay line volume than you do power, guess what? It just simply goes to zero. You got paid your $375, and next week we start over again. Okay, so we do it this way for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's just cool that way. Number two, there's leverage. You get additional pay for going and building new teams, and that is something that we absolutely want in the long run. Okay, now there is something really cool. Remember how I said that you can only earn $2,000 per week per line in base commissions? That's not quite true, right? That's the simple answer, but now we're going to go and learn about something called optimizing. So 13,334 is a very random number. But when you multiply that by 15%, it ends up being $2,000. So every time you have a line, and in this case, 2 or more lines from an income position that get 13,334 points, right? You've now optimized your income position. Love it or hate it, that's the word we're using. You've optimized, and when that happens, if that was all base commission volume, you would have gotten $2,000 in base commission, okay? Because again, 13,334 times 15% is $2,000. But more importantly, here's what happens. We always want you to have the option and ability to keep earning, right? So when that happens, you're going to get 2 new Christmas gifts. 2 new gifts. You get a new line for free, and you've earned a new reentry. Like, what is a new line and what is a reentry? A new line means if I had 2 lines before, now I have 3. If I had 3 before, now I have 4. You get an extra line that you can place people on. So let's walk through that, right? You can start building that new line immediately, right? And so if I had 500 points on line 1 and 2 and 3, now I'm earning on 1,000 pay line volume points. I'd get $150. You get the idea. I can start building that new line immediately. Or I can find somebody in my team. A lot of times teams are called downline. I'm their upline, they're my downline. It's a phrase that is very common in the industry. So you see that person who's glowing red, let's say that she's on fire. She's growing her business at a very fast pace. And I say, you know what, I want to team up with you. I've got a new reentry. And all that means is it's just like my original income position. Remember we started with an income position with 2 lines or 3 lines? Same thing. I get another income position that I can place beneath my superstar. And down there, we can work together to build a new line. And when that happens, I get paid for the volume on my income position number 2. You can see right there in blue. But then here's what happens. It comes back and pays my superstar because we're working it together. So usually I would put my reentry on her pay line. And then I get paid right there once. Then it comes and pays her. Then it comes back all the way to my first income position, and I get paid twice on the same volume. There's a reason we do that, right? We're not crazy. Here's why. That fosters teamwork like you couldn't imagine. Being able to help them make a paycheck and help pay you twice for the same volume. That is awesome, right? So that's how reentries work. And this can go on and on and on. So let's say that my superstar right there, we'll call her Jill. She also optimizes her income position. She would get a new reentry as well as a new line just like I did. And you can see right there, she has a new reentry that she can place. Let's call it under Frank. And Frank is the guy who's glowing green, so it's easy for you to see. And she says, I'm going to partner with Frank, put my income position beneath Frank. And then my income position number 2, let's say, also optimizes. Okay, this should be confusing by now. You should be like, I don't know what's going on. All you need to know from this is there are no limits to how many teams you can be building. And you can get paid 2, 3, 4 times for the same volume. We call that leverage. That's why your residual income will grow faster than your upfront income over time. Okay, I know that's a lot to take in. All you need to care about is this. You can work with people, and teamwork makes a win-win-win-win, and that's what optimizing is. We'll have additional training on how and why and when to build this way, but for the time being, you need to know about it because that's a goal you want to set. You want to have 13,334 points on both of your lines so that you can get new income earning opportunities. Okay? So, again, when another pay line optimizes, it can get another new line, and this goes on and on and on and on, and there's no limits to the number of lines that you can earn or build. Building wide and building deep, being able to do both of those, that is 100% unique to ARIIX. It's patented. And again, all it means is there's no limits. So let's start today by building 2 or 3 teams. But just know in the back of your head, you can grow this to be as big as you want. Okay, we talked about upfront money. We talked about residual. The cool part about residual is 1 becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16, becomes 32. It's like flipping a coin, right? If I gave you, or excuse me, doubling a penny. If I said, would you take $1 million or would you take a penny the first day and double it every day for a month, right? You'd be crazy to take the $1 million because you double every single day for a month. Even though you get to day 29, it's like $500,000. It's that last day that doubles everything that makes it grow. That's how your organization is going to grow, and that's how your residual paycheck increases. You find 2 people, who find 2 people, who find 2 people, and the viral nature of everybody wanting to get the slenderized weight loss, the new purity water bottle, right? As that grows out, everybody grows and your team grows exponentially, and that's how your paycheck grows exponentially. Again, I don't want to go too much into that, but just know that it pays you differently over time. And a lot of people are able to enjoy time freedom like a boss where they can step away, but because they have teams who are always working, because they're all around the world, they get paid all the time. Bonuses. This is where you're now starting to get paid like an executive. So let's go through these. The first bonus that we have is called the savings bonus. This is extra cash that we put on the side that you can spend on whatever you want for your car, your vacay, or whatever. So here's how it works. Every time that your base commissions is $250 or more, we're going to take that base commissions and times it by 15% and bank away additional money for you in your own personal savings bank. So let's give an example. You earn $2,000 in base commissions. Your savings bonus would be 15% of $2,000 or $300. We take that $300, we put it into a bank. It stays there, and you can continue to save up to $500 every single week. Here's the kicker. Once you get $10,000, we're going to pay out in a very oversized check your savings bonus all at once, and you can spend that money on a car, on vacations, on a Birkin bag, whatever you want. And guess what? We'll keep paying you the savings bonus now, up to $500 every single week, and you're set. $2,000 a month. That's a lot of money. You know, for some people, that's more than their mortgage. For other people, that's a Ferrari. That's a nice vacation whenever I want it, and life is good. Okay, so there you go, savings bonus. That's a fun bonus, and it's relatively early on because you only have to earn $250 in base commissions to start getting it. It's a good time, guys. Next bonus, the income position bonus. Right? This is where you get a part of worldwide sales volume coming back to you. You can earn shares for it when you build deep. Let me talk about what that means. Remember we talked about optimizing an income position, right? That happens when you have 2 or more lines from your income position that you can get to 13,334 points. Every single week, we set aside 2% of worldwide sales points. We put it into a big bucket, a bonus pool. And every time you have an income position that optimizes, you earn shares of this bonus pool, okay? So here's how it works. The more income positions that you get optimized, the more shares you get. And it's cool because it goes up exponentially. So let's say that you have one income position that you optimize. That's going to get you, if you have a 2X membership, aka why you want to be business or above on your business level, right? Random side note aside. The first will get you 2 shares of the income position bonus. If you have a second income position that you optimize, okay, the next one doesn't get you another 2 shares. It gets you an additional 4 shares. So now it's 2 plus 4 for a total of 6. If you had a third, okay, it wouldn't give you 4, it wouldn't give you 2, it would give you an additional 6. So now you have 2 plus 4 plus 6 total shares. It's kind of like washing a car. If I said to you, hey, come and wash this car, it's going to take you 2 hours and I'll pay you $100. You're like, okay, I'll go and wash it. I'll spend my 2 hours and I'll give you $100. It's 2 hours later. You're tired. You're like, I got my $100. I'm done. I kind of want to go home. It's good times. You see another car come in. Your boss comes and says, hey, okay, we need you to help wash this second car. But I'll tell you what, I'll give you the same $100, but I'll help you wash half of it, okay? So all you have to do is wash half the car and you'll still get the same $100. Would you do it? Could you be crazy not to? Are you kidding me? It's only 1 hour worth of work to make the same money that you made in your first 2 hours, okay? Now, you get done, it's 3 hours of total work, you're done, you're tired, you're like, I'm over, I'm done with this. And we come back and say, okay, there's another car, it's a third car, but this one's a BMW, it's a nice car. Come on, if you come and wash this car, I'll wash it with you, so it's only 1 more hour of your time. I won't give you $100. I'll give you $200. You're going to earn as much from the third car as you got from the first and the second combined, right? That is how this bonus works because it goes up exponentially. Here's an example, right? If each IP share is roughly around $250, that's kind of the average. That's sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but the average per week is around $250 a share. So here's the simple math. You optimize one IP, you get 2 shares. That ends up being $500. You get 2 IPs optimized. Remember, the first gets you 2 shares, the second got you 4 for a total of 6 shares or $1,500. You tripled your income for getting 1 more IP optimized. Let's see what happens when you do 3. You get 2 for the first, 4 for the second, 6 for the third, for a total of 12, and now you've got 3. You just doubled what you did on that second. Can you see how it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up? In fact, you remember we talked about having $2,000 each week for a line? Look at this. When you get to your third income position, you're already earning more from the bonus than you did from your entire base commissions. What does that tell you? Again, there's no limit to how many income positions you can have or optimize. There's no limits to your income potential at ARIIX. The next bonus, okay, that we're going to talk about also is similar to this, but let's wrap up with the income position bonus. It's huge. This is the gift that keeps on giving. It will pay you for many, many years to come as you grow your teams. And again, this is what we call residual long-term income. The payline bonus, very similar to the income position bonus. Every time that you get an additional payline that optimizes, right, then you get shares from 1% of worldwide sales points. Now, remember, in your income position, when you have the first 2 lines that optimize, that pays you in the income position bonus. So everything after that, meaning starting from the third line that optimizes, that's how we start calculating the pay line bonus. So let's go through and you can see an example of how it works. But the simple idea is the more additional lines that you have that optimize every week, the more shares you're going to get. And this is also exponential. So remember, when you optimize your income position, just like you did before, those first two lines, that counts in the income position bonus. But if you got a third line to optimize, that will give you 2 shares of the pay line bonus. If you had a fourth line, right, that's a second additional line. Remember, just like the income position bonus, you didn't get 2 shares for the second, you got 4 for the second. So it's a total of 6. If you got 1 more, it would give you 2 plus 4 plus 6, etc. Meaning the more lines you build that go and optimize every week, the more you're going to earn from the pay line bonus, and it goes up exponentially. Each share of the pay line bonus, on average, every week is around $400. So you get that first additional line optimized, you're getting 2 shares or $800. You got that second one, that would be the fourth line in your income position, and now you're getting 2 plus 4 or 6 at $400 a share. That's $2,400. That's more money than you earned from the $2,000 when you had your base commissions, right? So the bonuses are already earning more and more and more and more. So for people who are like, oh, I can only earn $2,000 a line, dude, that's just for base commissions, but look at everything else you're getting. 3, you get 48. 4, 8,000. Remember that car wash. Each new car that comes on is more and more lucrative to keep building. I show you this example, but let me put this in perspective. Optimizing a line, on average, will take between 2 to 3 years of working with your team, building that up. So this is a couple years down the road, right? That's why we have the upfront money, we have the residual money, and then these are the bonuses that come over time. But I think it's important for you to put into perspective the opportunity and potential that you have, right? You're going to grow new teams. You're going to build new lines, and you're going to all help them help each other to be successful. And when that happens, you get paid exponentially. That is why people do this versus having a job, right? The only way to get a pay increase in a job is by kissing up to the boss or by getting a higher degree or by quitting and jumping from job to job to job, which isn't great for job security. There's a whole host of problems. This is the more I do overtime, the more I get paid, and it's exponential. It's awesome. Okay, the last big bonus that I want to talk about. You've heard a lot, right? We saw some examples on the income position bonus, the pay line bonus, the savings bonus. Those are nice. But the largest single bonus that will pay you more money than any other bonus in ARIIX is what we call the matching bonus. And this has to do with a concept that we believe firmly in. If you want to win, you ultimately have to help other people win first, right? That's the difference between selling a product and really changing people's lives with a product. If my focus is on their need, on what they want, and I help them get that need, I'm going to be taken care of from on an income side. Same thing when I get my team members that come in, by helping them succeed. And remember, their definition of success will be different from yours. So it's good to get a clear idea and understanding of what their goals, what their intentions, what their dreams are. But matching bonus will pay you a percentage of all the base commissions of everyone you sponsor, the people they sponsor, etc. So 1 becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16, becomes 32, 64, 128, 256, 1024, and it goes on and on and on. And it pays you everything that they earn. So helping them get a check only helps you, right? Now, remember, we talked about another benefit of going ultimate, and that is when you become ultimate, It also gifts you a status called gold, right? So if you're not ultimate, there's only one way of getting gold, and that is when you become a member, in your first 8 weeks of building the business, you find 4 members or customers that buy 150 points each. Okay, this is called going gold. We do that to give you an incentive, encouragement, a reason to start building, to learn how to build quick. The easiest way to do that is to go ultimate, which is why, again, everyone should become ultimate. Now, why is gold important? Because it unlocks the first 3 generations. Generation is just a fancy word for level. The people that I sponsor, those are my first generation. The people they sponsor, like my grandkids, are my second generation, etc. You unlock a lifetime of your first 3 generations in matching bonus just by going gold. Okay? So you want to be gold because when you are, then everyone that you sponsor, every dollar of base commissions you help them earn will pay you 15% in matching bonus. They earn $100, you earn 15. They earn 1,000, you're 150. They earn 1,000,000, you are $150,000. And it sounds crazy. Excuse me, but I'm telling you, this bonus pays more than any other bonus combined because there's no limits, no cap. It is straight 15% for the people that you bring in and help earn a paycheck from selling products. The people they bring in, that's your second generation, you are going to earn 10% of everything they earn. You're like, okay, well, that's cool. But remember, there's always more people in your second generation than there is on your first. You sponsor 10 people. Let's say those 10 people sponsor 2 each. Now you have 20 people in your second generation. So even though you got 10% on generation 2, you're always going to earn more. And that continues all the way to 7 generations. You get 15 on 1, 10 on 2, 5% for levels 3, all the way down to 7. And that 7th generation at 5%, because of the number of people in that generation, it will pay you more than all 6 generations before that. Okay? The qualifications and requirements to get paid out at the different levels, you can see right there in black and white, very easy. You need to earn $500 in base commissions to get 4 generations of matching bonus. 1,000 to get 5. You need to optimize 1 income position to get your 6th generation and 2 income positions to get the 7th generation. Okay? Pretty straightforward, but I'm telling you, this is the most powerful bonus we have. I'm telling you, there are reps that we have who sponsor 1 person, and that person goes on to open the UK, or they go to open a new market, and they're the top leader. Dude, you hit the jackpot because you found the right person who then is growing like crazy. Everything they earn and the people that they sponsor and that they earn, you are now getting a lifetime residual kickback and mooch off of other people's income called the matching bonus. It sounds bad, but really what it is meant to be is now you have a reason to help everyone in your team, even if they're on a power line, to go and make a paycheck. Because when you do, it only comes back to pay you, and it's in dividends. Okay, so here's a very simple example. I got 2 people on line 1 on my first generation. They each earn a total of $5,000. I got 15% of that, $750. Second generation total of $3,000, 10%, $300, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can see the example and see how your paycheck ends up going. $1,560, that's pretty conservative if I had full 7 generations, but you get the example. Okay? I'm telling you, matching bonus has no limits in the event that somebody is no longer active, right? We'll just pretend that doesn't exist, and you get your 3rd generation to count as your 2nd through what we call auto compression. Again, the details aren't so important. What is important is you know that ARIIX is committed to paying you and your team every time you help your team succeed. Okay? That's crazy. I pay you for helping other people get paid. But it's powerful. And last but not least, the final way that we reward our members and business partners is through rewards, trips, getaways, hangouts, bling, etc., right? We do cruises, we do getaways, we do once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Last December, we took a group of our top leaders that were growing quickly to Broadway. They got to go backstage and meet the Phantom of the Opera, the actual Phantom himself. By the way, is an ARIIX member. He loves our products. His two favorite are Rejuvenex and Restorix. He also loves the new water bottle, and he talks to everybody about it. But he had us go backstage. We got to go check out New York and all of its glory. It was an awesome, quick little getaway, right? And then I just got back from a 9-day, 8-night cruise in the Eastern Caribbean. We've gone to baseball games. Don't take my word for it. These are awesome, and anybody can have a chance to win and have a good time. So I'm going to share with you this video, and then we're going to end on this. And I really hope that you guys can appreciate that ARIIX has the #1 comp plan for a number of reasons, not the least of which we pay more than anybody else. When you add all of those 8 ways to pay, we're down 51, 52% for 2016. That means we had $150 million in sales revenue. Of the $150 million, we had over $76 million that was paid out in commissions in one of those 8 ways. That's huge. Nobody does that. So if you like to get paid less, feel free to go to one of our competitors. If you want the #1 compensation plan in the entire world, ARIIX is where it's at. Guys, I hope this has helped at least introduce the different ways of getting paid, how they pay, why they pay to you. There's a lot more you can learn, but it doesn't need to be that difficult. When I talk to new people and present the compensation plan, all I talk to them and focus on is team lead bonus so that they understand they need to go gold. They can make 30% every time they make a sell, and there's a lot of money on the back end, right, by building a team over time. So ARIIX is #1, guys. It's out there for you to seize the day, seize the opportunity, and make your dreams a reality. That sounds hokey, but I'm telling you, it's true. So have a lovely day, and thanks for everything you guys do, guys. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk with you later. Thank you.